My guest today is legendary Adam Saaks, clothing designer famous for cutting fabric live on stage. He worked with celebrities like Britney Spears, Eminem, Lenny Kravitz, Mariah Carey, and many, many more. Today, for the first time, Adam unveils his new project and introduces his design partner. Let's go. So you were doing t-shirts, and then at one point you cut a t-shirt and the girl was looking at this t-shirt and she's like, I want a t-shirt like that.
Yes.
And then you start cutting her. There's like a huge line of people wanting to do it. When you were cutting this first piece, I'm really curious what came through your mind. How did you feel and what happened?
I wrote a book about that moment, and the title will say it all. It's called Love at First Cut.
Yeah.
And what I felt like, I've always wanted to be a rock star and a musician, and I was, but like I could play music, and I was really fanatical Metallica fan when I was a kid, and I loved their energy and how just the perfection of that band to me and many millions of other fans. But when I started to cut into that shirt and I had a circle of people watching me. Now, this was, mind you, this was in the center of the fashion industry. This was at Magic Trade Show in Las Vegas. So every buyer and retailer, distributor, designer, brand was there watching me with their like lanyards on, conventions, in the huge Las Vegas Convention Center. And this circle formed around me after she'd asked me to cut the shirt. And I said, sure. So I brought her out into the walkway in front of our booth, and I just tied up the sides, and I look around and they were applauding, and I was like, oh my God. And we were both nervous. I've seen girls get nervous and models get nervous today throughout the years. Like I get it. I get it because it happened to me the first time. And I just said, okay, it's just me and you here. Breathe. And I open up my legs, kind of like James Hetfield, holding a guitar.
Yeah.
I assumed the position, and I just went to town, and I was just me and her. And at that moment, when I was done, applause went crazy, and I got a tap on the shoulder, and it was two more girls, and they're like, can we get one? And the line formed, and it hasn't stopped in 20 years, basically. But that 4 days, I did 189 shirts, like a machine. I had the union guys that would, break down the conventions at 5 o'clock every day. They were pulling the scissors out of my hands, like, bro, you got to go, bro. You got to go. Come back tomorrow. I was obsessed. And why is because I got a feeling I've never felt before when I did it. And it was like the highest frequency I've ever felt naturally in an activity. And I've just recreated that feeling. It's pure love is what it is.
Yeah. Time
stands still and nothing matters about except what I'm doing at that moment in that space. And I've just recreated that feeling for the past 23 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's it, man. That's it. So when you're looking at all my designs I've done, the hundreds of thousands of them, now mind you, those are all done by hand on the model.
Yeah.
Whether it's live on stage or in a studio or something. I had to suit up, show up, get her in the garment, and cut it and design it, and then get the content and or be filmed.
Yeah.
And what you're watching when you're looking at those things, whether it's a video or a picture, is a feeling. It's not design. It's not fashion. It's not art. It's not cutting. It's the feeling. So I'm in the feeling. That feeling you were asking me about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all it is to me. And when I get the stab in my heart, I know the design's done.
Yeah.
And it's not done until I get it. And I'm like, oh, I'm there. And then I'm just on to the next. But I'm just recreating the feeling. And it just happens to be the act of cutting a garment on somebody's body.
So this is how you manifest love, by doing this work.
And because of the acknowledgement I've gotten and success and inspiration from other people and how much they enjoy watching me do it and or how I do it and all the aspects of what it is just just comes back around to me from my insides to theirs to back to me.
Yeah.
So I get to see that, and it's been rewarding in an abundant way, and it's been an abundant way of reward that I can't even tell you. There's situations like working with Britney Spears, for instance. Like I was there for a week with her in her dressing room. We had the whole Forum in LA, which is an arena, empty. So with a full dress rehearsal 3 times a day for 5 days. And so I was designing so I'm standing there. It's just me, Brian Friedman, and his assistant Jennifer, and me, and a table in the middle on the floor while the whole stage show is going full light, full costumes, watching the show from beginning to end. And he's going, no, Britney, it's a whip, snap, then turn, bam, boom. And I'm sitting there with her dress around my neck and the scissors in my hand, waiting for her to finish so I can finish designing the piece on her.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, you couldn't pay $1 billion. No fan in the world could pay $1 billion to stand where I'm standing right now. Now, I'm not saying I'm a Britney fan. I have nothing against her or her music, but it's not my thing. But it's that love gets me into areas and or these experiences that are priceless.
Wow.
Yeah.
You create the live art. There's something special about the chefs creating a dish or the painter painting
It's
live
like
painting.
Musician on stage.
Yes.
But those guys have written, recorded, and rehearsed those songs.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing some medley jam. But that's really hard to do for an hour and a half to 20,000 people, right? To just sit there and freestyle on the guitar, be fucking bored, right?
For sure.
People go want to hear the song. So I'm freestyling. I do not know what I'm doing before I get on stage. I kind of have an idea, but I don't plan it out at all.
Wow.
I'll just stand there and brain empty. I got live television on. We have live audience. And I just dig in, bop, and then I go from there. And then it's like mistake, correct. Sometimes they may have their underwear on, and I'm like, you should take your underwear off on live TV, you know? They're going to see this yellow stripe go through my design. And so these things happen pretty much on every design. And I cut my way through it, and I salvage the situation. And that pressure is just for me.
Yeah.
And so the difficulties and challenges of knowing the camera angles, knowing the timing that's going on, how she's moving, if she's not paying attention, if she's not moving properly or sitting still, or the cut, I overcut one and I've got to compensate. All these things are kind of what get me off on stage because no one knows they're going on.
Yeah.
And so when I'm done, they may be impressed, but I'm impressed with myself more than anything. And that's my own little joy for decades.
I read one of the interviews you said, somebody asked you, have you ever made mistakes when you're cutting? You're like, I'm making mistakes every single time.
Every other cut, yeah.
I just know how to be composed and work through them, and people don't see that, which is the beauty.
Yeah, the model hears me complain.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, I'm swearing a little bit under my breath.
When I first saw it, my friend Satu showed me your work, and I was like, I would be scared. Like just somebody with scissors cutting next to me, I would be like, what if they cut me or something like that?
Yeah, I've had somebody. I was in Cannes during the Cannes Film Festival, and I was hitting and running on the La Croisette, and then I was at Nikki Beach. And I was with the owners of Nikki Beach, really good friends of mine, and my wife at the time. And I'm like, let's go out in front of the club, on the La Croisette on the sidewalk, and let's do a design. So I did one, made big circles, just like the very beginning. And then my wife said, let me cut you, Adam. And I said, okay, babe, here's the scissors. She did. I'm like, no. She just starts on my shoulder, like just the sleeve. And I was like, no way. I froze up, and I'm like, give me those back. I can't do it. So I don't know how they do it. Yeah, I commend them because it's stressful.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quote you, but I might misquote you, so correct me if I'm wrong. But the one interview you said, very cool phrase that stuck with me, that it's better to do one of those cuts in front of 10,000 of people than do 10,000 shirts in front of one
individually.
Yeah. So that means that the actual act is what matters.
Yes. I look at it as when Metallica, when their first 4 albums, they were basically the hottest indie underground band in the early 80s when I was like 13, 14 years old. And they were cool. Like you draw it on your denim jackets, you draw it on your locker, you draw it on your jeans, the logo and their album covers. And they were... They didn't have any videos or any radio in the world playing their music, but we were all listening to it.
Yeah.
And how we got turned on to it is they would just tour and tour and tour and tour and tour. So they would be like at this huge music festival where it would be like Van Halen, Scorpions, AC/DC, Queensryche, and then Metallica, really small on the shirt. And then the next Monsters of Rock, it's Metallica, Scorpions, da 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 da
Yeah.
da da.
Yeah.
Da. So they just brought the music to them. And so I used that strategy to just perform as much as I could in front of as many people as possible. So it was easier for me to obviously be in front of a bigger crowd than constantly cutting in front of small crowds. And I did both. Don't get me wrong, but I see there's more impact. And then the internet came and was viral, like naturally viral. I've never done any strange algorithms or demographics or anything like that. And I put my videos up like a Hail Mary, and some go into the tens of millions, almost 100 million views, and some stick at like 10 grand.
But it's something now these days. It's like when everything is AI based, we value when people do craft, right? You can see the guy who makes shoes out of leather and you're like, wow, this is so, I can watch that for hours.
Dude,
And I think that because you're authentic and your style is very unique, it's very fun to watch.
Yeah, I know. I believe so. I agree with you, but YouTube does not agree.
Yes.
They have something against me my whole time. You know, I've got over 1 billion views on my page and many hundreds of millions on Facebook and Instagram. The reposts of people in the DIYs and LA Bible, Lad Bible, and all those. But I don't know what there's all those, you know, the ones you're watching. Yeah. And I go viral on those pages, but when it's on my page, on my channel or my platform, it's like the advertisers don't like it for some reason. And it's why I have a management company for a long time in LA that they manage all my channels and stuff. And they told me that the better algorithm is to do DIY.
Yeah.
Like in educational videos. And I could do in this studio right now, I could do 10 episodes in an hour. Just change the shirt, bop, do this is the Carmen Electra cut. This is the this is the Miley Cyrus cut. This is the Mariah Carey cut. You know, I can do that like step by step in one shoot and then just spread it out over 3 months or whatever. And it's so simple. And I would probably get really good ad revenue, but I don't want to do it. Yeah. So that's why I just stuck to it. It's
you have
for
your own
me,
style.
It's for me, dude.
Yeah, that makes
things for me.
Makes you special because you don't do what other people do. Otherwise,
I don't even know what I'm doing. How do I know what they want? You know,
that is very interesting to me. How somebody is a genius on. There's a lot of this opportunities come to you, and sometimes you get excited about them. Like, I should do this, and that. They will bring me money. They will bring me fame. But you have to stay in your lane. So how do you mentally work with that?
If I haven't done it, I've tried it.
Okay.
If you are recommending something I should do, I've already thought about it or have done it.
Yeah.
So very rarely have I heard an idea or suggestion from somebody over 20 years that I haven't already delved way deep into it and no, it doesn't work.
I see.
It may, but it doesn't work for me. It's just I've tried it and it doesn't work for one reason or another. Now, so I've been doing the same thing. And I've done brands. I did Von Dutch, did Ed Hardy, American Apparel, Religion, and then I've done an Adam Saaks brand out of Italy when I was living in France. And it was just so much work, man. It's like going in a factory and working on this piece would take 2 weeks for a sample or a week for a sample to come back and it's wrong. Yeah. Not to mention I got to figure out what material I want to use with this, the color, this, that, all these little things. And I'll sit here for an hour and go, it's centi, half centi, half centi, just on this seam right here. So, and it drives me nuts. I can't make a decision because there's infinite when you're starting from scratch. Yes. My forte, my gift, I feel, is like putting my touch on something that's already in front of me. An interior, an outfit, and or a piece when I'm cutting. Like I can put I don't want to, starting from scratch, I don't know where to start.
And I think that's very important because a lot of people, they just try to do everything like from A to B instead of just doing their zone of genius.
Yeah. And I've had money thrown at me and I've had to obligated to do this, you know, in the name of Adam Saaks and the brand ego and doing a collection by myself. Like my partner's like, yeah, I retired yesterday. I'm
Mhm.
like, dude, no, what am I going to do? He's like, figure it out. So I have, I've learned from picking thread all the way into launching and even getting a GmbH
Yeah.
for my brand
Wow.
by
Crazy.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't know what a GmbH is, it's a Swiss bank account. It's like, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But the listener doesn't. But all the way back to the simple of the thread, what type of thread, the thickness, the color, the material, buttons and this, that, and embossing and this. Oh, dude.
Wow.
So, which I'm going to now start talking into. That has been a very big part of my design where it stops right there. I've tried it alone. Okay. And because it's never been successful, it's always percolated right at the surface, but never boiled over.
Yeah.
Like I don't have another season or two in me to not struggle, but to continue it without the return. Okay. And so I just drop it and go back to my center, which is performing live. And I'm the happiest there. So I'm going to, can I introduce somebody?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So I'll just set it up a bit. 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I had a girl DM me on my Instagram, and we got to get, and we were like, oh, cool. And we had a lot of things in common. She came over, we hung out one night at the pad, went swimming and stuff. And then the next day she's like, I have an idea. And I said, what? She sends me this illustration sketch, like a real good one from the side of the runway, like Givenchy style.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want you to cut this. Can you cut this? And I said, yeah. And she said, okay, what material do you use? And I said, well, I use 92-8, like cotton spandex blend. Okay, click. Next day she shows up. It's done in my fabric.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is where a fast turnaround.
And then I cut that piece. You want to see that piece?
Yes.
You want to meet the girl?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So let's bring on Tianalirr. Come here, hon. Yes, my new design partner.
Design partner.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So this is our.
We need your
microphone
a bit.
So this is our kind of our debut.
Amazing.
Our reveal with your show.
Yes, I'm honored. I'm so honored to meet you, and I'm so honored to have you guys.
So this is the piece I was talking about. So
this is what everything actually started from.
Yeah, not this. This
really
is her, and then it's a cat suit and bell bottoms and bell sleeves. This stuff I know.
Let's get a microphone off for a sec so we can all see it.
Off?
On the side.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've been cutting on basics this whole time. She went and took it from her mind to a drawing to this.
This is
in one day.
Amazing.
And I'm like, let's go. Let's do a brand together. And she's like, I love that idea. So me, I love to cut the videos and stuff in the reels. And
I hate doing content.
Yeah.
But we didn't know yet. I was just doing my thing. I didn't know her very well.
Yeah.
And so when I cut the video, I'm like, send me your logo in a PNG, which is this one here.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
I made mine, like mashed it up with hers, and we had our Nike swish from the day one. Yeah, we were
He's
like
genius.
We're gonna put it right here.
Yeah, nice.
Technology.
Very cool. And then she comes back the next day with the dress.
Wow.
In the same material.
So you made it yourself?
Well, I use sewers. Like I've been doing this my whole life almost.
Okay.
Doing sketches and then making it into life. And it comes through the generations. Like my mother can sew, my grandmother can sew. My mother always had her personal sewer.
Wow.
So she was a fashion icon on her work, though she wasn't in fashion at all. She was a finance director.
Okay.
In a big company.
Yeah.
But she was a fashion icon there because
Wow.
each time she showed up in something she invented again.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, have you seen her today? Yeah, so it just comes with generations. So as soon as I started taking a pencil in my hand and started drawing, I started drawing sketches, and it was my love. And then I started sewing and
wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So she took that shows up the next day or two after, I don't know exactly, but
Yeah.
right after we did this piece with another dress. She didn't even fucking tell me about it.
Wow.
She's like, can you cut this? And I'm like, yeah, amazing. And like shoulder pads,
Yeah.
neckline, fucking nice, man. And she's like, but I have to leave in 10 minutes. I'm flying away. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Classic.
And so I did a 5-minute hack job on it. And then she leaves.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like a week or two later, I start seeing this content come up on her page.
Yeah.
And it's her and her friend wearing the pieces. Like her friend's wearing this one. She's wearing the dress. They're running around on like scooters, you know, the electronic
On the
scooters.
Milan
Fashion Week through Milan, getting chased by paparazzi, hitting all the shows, all first row, front row.
Wow.
And I'm like, yo, this is sick. So it totally stole the show. So I'm like, when are you coming back? She's like, I don't know. And it's been like over a year. So she called the other day, about a freaking month ago, and she's like, I'm like, where are you? She's like, I'm in Dubai. And I'm like, well, let's do this brand. I'm ready to go. She's like, okay, I'll come in 2 days. I'll get a ticket in 2 days. So like the next day, she texts me. So I call her. I said, where are you? She's like, I just landed. I'm like, you're already here. Let's go.
She's a woman of a mystery. She appears with a beautiful dress.
It just shows like just drive to get started. And that is, I'm like balls to the wall when we're doing this type of thing. Like right now, since she's back and we've already started we got our brand name now, which is Satas, which is the broken up of the icon, the letters in there in order. So we're just working on the graphics on that to finalize that. And now she's working on sketches and designs and dye dips and patterns and stuff I can't stand, and then she brings it to me and I cut it.
Wow.
And
the new inspiration.
Yeah. On her, it's another, like I got a whole new, like a rebirth of,
amazing,
of excitement about what I do. Cause it's been, I take long breaks.
Yeah.
Because it's been the same thing for so long, but with this new direction is a dream from day one to have elevated
That's true.
Elevated designs to cut on instead of just American Apparel bodysuits, basics, so
I have so many questions.
Yeah.
So many questions. But let's start with one. How did you hear about Adam Saaks?
Well, when I came 2 years ago to Bali, no, it was like even more. I think it was more because he's really famous all over Bali, and you just see on Instagram these like beautiful girls, and he's cutting pieces on them, and I was like, that's genius. I mean, that's so cool. It's just. I remember the first comment I left there on his page. It was like, it's the perfection of seduction. And what I see as the femininity is like the sharp, the mystic femininity, which is a little bit like sexually aggressive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it has its like power,
elegance.
Yeah. And well, I understood that I would love to mix my vision with what he does, and the idea, slow by slow, it came up into my mind, and then I was just like, okay. And then we meet. I understand. Okay, that can work. Let's try. And I just said to him, okay, let's do it.
And did you make that sketch before meeting him, or
No.
or was inspired by his work?
It was inspired. Just
we spent a lot of time together that night. I mean, it was a long night. We got to know each other.
Yeah. So just the idea, the vision came up in my brain. So I'm this person. Yeah.
The comfortability at that point, you felt like, okay, now I can present something I was thinking. Because she wouldn't just come at me like that. People do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, show me. But they don't come out with this beautiful professional sketch. That's like, like when they're looking at the runway and they do that, like the chalk. Yeah, it was like that. I was very impressed. Like it's like she went to school or something. I don't even know what that is. Taught schools before. Sorry.
Yeah, I think creativity is not something that is really taught at design universities.
Okay.
So I went to the university, but I didn't finish it. It was just, I understood it was like just a passion through my life that I always did. And like, like if you've seen Devil Wears Prada, it was like my childhood favorite movie. And I thought, okay, I will be the next Miranda Priestley.
Yeah. Amazing.
I was that character. So I was always into it. And I just understood that we can do something really complete. We both needed a second genius, a second partner to because it's like a fire. When you are alone trying to burn it all the time, it's more complicated. When you have two which are burning each other, it works much better.
For sure.
Yeah.
So for that dress, what was for that sketch? I guess you made a dress, but you had a sketch. What was inspiration? Like, what do you feel when you were doing it? What did you think it is?
I think the first sketch was a cat suit, the one she's wearing.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I think we both love a kind of dark femininity, which is, as I already said, mysterious.
Yeah.
And what can be like more mysterious? Okay, like the sleeves. It is a little bit like I wouldn't say it's like the Dracula style.
It's crazy because what she did is she like how I do my cuts. They all have points in them. Mm-hmm. You know, everything's got a. If you notice, they're all got these like teardrop type endings to them, and that happens also naturally within the cut and the twist. You know, but I do angle. So the slices I have to do like this, and then I can even drop it down this way. And then when I roll it, it does this, okay? And she was making a pattern that had that already.
Wow.
It's giving you that flair.
Yeah.
And shoulder pads. I don't think this one has. I cut them out if I did, but I cut a lot of stuff out. You know, so you're like, where are we going to put our labels? I'm like, don't. I'll probably cables. We'll be sewing them in and I'll be cutting them out. So we got to do that after the fact. But what I saw is that she caught the flares and the it's like a sexy sharpness to it that it's finished. Yeah. It's finished. And I don't like to do lines like straight down, like bop, 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 bop. They all have to be angled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like biomechanics. Our body's like this, you know, it's like all these
curvy.
Or a lot of that, you know, and all centered as well, except for the heart and the whatever. But I guess that's centered now. Cool. It changed in time for some reason. Yeah. So sorry, but that's what I was like. Oh yeah, she gets it.
But I like how she describes your, like when I looked at your page, I saw exactly what you said. I feel something like this dark femininity, this edgy,
it's some attitude. It's fucking attitude.
Yeah,
it's
and you describe it so well.
It's energy and attitude that's like and shape.
Yeah.
With this pointy stuff, you know, everything's pointy.
Yeah.
You know, even in the thumbnails in my page, they all have to have that like.
And why is that? Why, like, what drives this?
I come from because I come from the time, the era of portfolios where we had to develop the film, retouch the film on the fucking negative.
Yeah.
Or get the tear sheets and wait for the magazine to come out and then cut it out. And then we would place the pictures on the hallway floor with your portfolio. And it was like opening page, left, right, left, right, left, right. And you'd walk and you'd move them around. You have to walk 20 feet up and down to get my book. So when it was set, I would slide them in I'd be on my knees on the ground, sliding the pages in to make my portfolio.
Yeah.
And I'd have to update it. So I'd have to pull it out and do it again or pull out. So when it came to, and the same when you look at the page, you know, in a portfolio, and those were sent to the agencies and because I was this wardrobe stylist for 11 years and I had many portfolios, many agents, and it was all about the portfolio.
Yeah.
And so when Instagram came out, I treat Instagram completely different than anyone I know because it's a portfolio for me. I was like, oh, this is so fun. I can retouch, I can edit, I can move around,
Yours looks very different from anything I see.
Right.
It's like,
and if you swipe farther down, you can see my real portfolio when I was really paying attention.
Yeah.
The first 5 or 6 swipes is just money. It's ads, buy nows, order, DM to order, things like that. With me, no cutting. The other is a very curated page.
Yeah.
Something switched where I was like, let's try this new thing. So it's a little bit like not as much
Okay.
thought put into it. But it's because I come from the portfolio, and it's got to have style, and it's got to have an edge, and it's got to represent, like, this guy's not talented, but has a taste of some sort, a taste, a style.
So the question for both of you, since you are way better at fashion and design than me, I want to learn a bit. What do you think about the modern fashion? Like, how do you look at it? To me, I'm gonna.
I don't even answer those
I
questions.
wanna. I want to give my very newbie, because I mean, I'm actually part of this. I just go and buy what I see, and I don't really pay attention. But the people I talk to here, sometimes they have those intricate. They like their soul is expressing in a way they are. So I don't think my soul is definitely. I don't think my soul is expressing the way I am, but maybe I don't know myself too well. So, what are your guys' views on modern fashion, and what's lacking right now?
What you said is really interesting. I mean, in terms of you just go, you like, you buy. So in my practice, I invented one thing which I call like quantum styling.
Okay.
Which means I do a therapy, like coaching to a person. We understand what is like his inner universe, what it consists of, what are his goals, what are like the things he wants in his life, and who is he as a personage. I mean, everyone is a personage, just people don't always understand how to express that.
Yeah.
And so we try to get this personage out of this person, and then we just like create this on him his body. So I just put like the details, I put everything that will tell, because it's an nonverbal way. Fashion is not just clothing, it's an nonverbal way to talk to the out universe, to talk to people. Because if you express yourself right, you can bring to your life special people, special opportunities, special events, everything. Like it's the same important as the way you talk, as your business. The same important, just to look in the right place, the right moment, and express who you are, so that people who you don't need opportunities, they will read you. They won't come up.
I see what you're saying.
Yes, and it's really important nowadays. It's more important than ever to express yourself. And what I always hated about fashion is the thing that they are not trying to go deep into personality. They're not trying to go deep into like the message they're conveying. Most of the fashion is about showing off.
Yeah,
it's just, and I mean, I think that really makes people to focus more on just the out thing, on their ego. And I think that this is not really healthy. I mean,
100%.
The second big part of my life is spirituality. So I've been going away to the caves, not seeing people for months, or like living with monks. And this is really important.
Yeah.
So there was the moment now when I was living in Milan the whole autumn. I was doing a project for Sony. And at some moment, just I was so sick with the posh society that I just ran away to Nepal to live with monks for a month.
I can resonate, yes.
Is that what you
Yes.
Is that where your hair went?
So yeah,
I love monks. Monks come here to the studio. I don't know why, but I love monks.
Yeah, so I just and there is like it's my second home. Nepal really is the home of my soul, and I really feel so happy there. So like, full with this energy. And I mean, this is something real I want to bring into pieces. I want to bring into fashion, because in my childhood I was just pissed off. I was like, but yeah, I love the creation and I love the fashion, but I hate the fashion because when I just look through the season, I see 10 absolutely the same grunge jackets from different brands, and it seems like they just, they just sit in the round table at the end of each season, like, okay, next season we're gonna do the fucking same,
Yeah.
like.
True. I mean,
And they
that's a
just put different
commercialism.
logos, and I was like, that's freaking me out, and just that doesn't make any sense. And when people, are faking, when they there was the moment when it was very fashionable to have these stockings that are torn,
Yeah.
and then the
Hey.
girl with the perfect torn, not gracefully cut,
Okay.
torn. And there was a girl, and she has a perfect red lipstick.
Yeah.
She's very neat and tight, and then she has this, tights, and I'm like,
Yeah. But the thing
it's
is that
just, what a shame.
I like what you're saying. So people follow the fashion instead of follow who they are. And that is a problem.
Yes.
No, I believe fashion is the business and style is something you
Yeah.
can't buy.
And that's why your
Yeah.
stuff is so unique, because you are doing it live. It's hard to lie
Okay.
when you're creating on live.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I'm not part of the fashion industry, nor was I ever. It made me a part of it
Okay.
to this day. It pulls me into it. It's
Yeah.
not about fashion for me or art or creating or even cutting. It's just fucking feeling good.
Yeah.
And that happens to be the act of doing that. Give me a challenging piece. She does that. I'm in heaven.
That's why I'm so admired, actually, by Adam, because he's the real creator to the core of his being, and that is something that is super important to me in people.
Yeah.
When they're really like driven with something, and this is something how they connect to God through creation, through what they do. That's the pure energy,
Yeah.
And this is not many people like that in the modern society who really have this, fire in their soul.
Yeah.
That they can show to the world.
Yeah. I think expression is very important. And for me personally, I don't wear elaborate pieces, not because I think part of me is like I come from a very, I come from a communistic country, right? I was born in Latvia. It was part of the Soviet Union. In Soviet Union, everybody would wear the same thing. You could wear jeans. You could wear, if you wear jeans, I think you would go to like Siberia. People don't like it. So so it actually, I think the generations and generations of people being afraid to express is still there. For some people, it's easier to express. And for some people are like, you would feel shame. I put like a pink shirt and I'm like, I don't know, is people looking at me? Do I look weird? And I think that is a block for many people today. And they try to look the same and not to stick their heads out, because what if you get judged? That would be my 2 cents.
It's interesting because I was born in California, and then I moved to LA in 2001.
The city of expression.
Yeah, same with San Francisco. Wow, that was another level. More on like the cyber hippies.
Yeah.
Like really interesting style up there. That's how I kind of got into fashion. But in LA, I find they just dress up like cartoon characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Hardy and
I'm like,
stuff.
was that when I was your age? Was I doing that? Were you looking at me like that? So, and I do look at everybody, and even though they may have a certain style to them, not a fashionable is business. I will always know that the fashion is business.
Industry.
It's industry. Fashion word is a business.
Yes.
It's the business.
For sure.
When somebody has style, listen, we live on Bali. And before, like during COVID, during, and a little bit after COVID, it's had some style here.
Yeah.
That bohemian, deep kind of organic vibe to them and their dressing, and just how much you could tell they wore the shit out of their shirt. Oh, fuck, it looks good.
Yeah.
Right. And now you're getting, in my opinion, a bunch of people going to H&M, Zara, and Uniqlo.
Yeah.
Walking around, living here.
And
it's a shame. It's a shame.
Well,
not
Uniqlo
anymore.
is not that bad.
got you
It has
we
quality.
got you in a
Give me a
Yassar, my
shirt.
buddy.
It's yours.
No, it's Yassar. Yeah, I gave mine.
I thought so.
Yeah, I gave him my shirt to wear today, so we could all be on
That's
like,
good.
we were
I was
bandit.
for
Do you
a
have
record.
sunglasses? Do you have an extra pair of sunglasses?
No.
Do you have two?
Well,
Do you have two? Do you have a pair? Or two
Yeah,
pair?
I do. I always
Okay.
do.
Yeah. So let's get him. Here, you can put. Do you have another pair?
Well, no, I can give mine.
Oh, here, you can try mine on.
All right.
Yeah.
We're getting me restyled.
Yeah, there we
A
go.
lot of people try it here. I'm just saying, but you're a
Dude,
fashion legend.
But
so
you
I have
said you told me you wear black on. Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Dude,
Oh
you
my
look like
God.
a jazz fucking legend.
Okay, jazz legend here. So for the record, because people don't know, I was wearing this pink T-shirt from my friend Blake, and Adam was like, "Bro, no, we're all wearing black today," and he gave me his shirt. So
That's from Yassar, my
Yeah.
buddy Yassar. He's amazing, and I'm wearing
Shout
it
out to
also.
Yassar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Yassar.
now I'm feeling like
Now you got the Saint Laurent glasses
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Those things I've had for 10 years. You know,
Wow,
until
okay.
they break, until they can't fix them again.
Yeah.
Then I
That's
go
excellent.
online and go on eBay and try to find like dead stock from way back when,
Yeah.
because they discontinued this right after that season, and I just love that shape.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got
Mine
there.
is Saint Laurent too.
By the way, we're gonna do eyewear. We're doing a lot of cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're so
Yeah,
excited. We don't want to reveal
so
too much,
inspiration.
but yeah, it'll be a small, very intense collection, I think. Like this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
15 good fucking solid timeless works of art.
Okay.
And then
I do have a
And
deep question
she's-
after we finish.
yeah, and all the accessories you can think of in houseware and
Awesome.
home furnishings and jewelry. I really wanted you to do a grill, like
Grill?
I
No,
love
no
that.
problem. I already had an idea because,
Perfect.
I mean, I love.
You can get one for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This podcast will never be the same again.
A little bit more, and he will be Jay-Z.
Yes, oh my god.
No, Satas.
Yeah. So we're I like deep
Tell me the
conversations. So I'm not a woman, but I would feel that for a woman, when you dress up in a certain way, let's say you're looking very sexy, and that's great. But like if I were a woman and I'm wearing these sexy clothes, I would be feeling, okay, there's lots of men are looking at me, and am I comfortable with that? So how do you deal with that? I'm very, very curious, because it looks great, but for me, like if I put myself in your body, I was like, I just want to wear something traditional and not show off. So how do you navigate that? That's very interesting to me.
How I do know.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I've been working as a model
Yeah.
since I was 14 years old,
I see.
and it is very natural
Okay.
to be.
She gets
that-
proposed to a lot, put it that way.
Mhm.
She gets proposed to a lot. She's got a collection of engagement rings that are like a bag. Ching, 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 ching.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
she's
like
got something to it. Man.
that,
It's just,
that year I was proposed 3 times from
Wow.
Me-
different men, and I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I've been proposed to 3 times, and I married 2 of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
You've
Yeah.
been you
Women.
proposed, or you've been proposed?
I've been proposed.
You've been proposed.
3
They
times.
proposed you.
Both of my wives.
You never proposed them.
I have. Yeah, I've had fiancés. Not them, but the fiancés.
No, I
yeah.
mean it was like you
I've
came up
been
with a
proposed-
ring, and or they came up with a ring.
Well, I ended up getting the first ring, of course, but they asked me. I accepted. One was on her knees in the plane.
Wow. Tell us
and
this
the
story.
other one was over the phone.
On the
No,
plane.
I want to tell this
So,
story.
wait,
This is
out.
fucking 30 years ago.
I still want to hear it. I'm wearing glasses now, so I'm feeling very
you feel
confident.
safe, right? Yeah, that's why I love those
I'll
things.
take it out.
I'll
Like
do
that.
it. I'll
Yeah,
now,
you
so I
are-
can-
That's why
the
Anna
talking
Winter
stick,
said
Yes.
she wears the glasses all the time because no one can really see what she's feeling or thinking.
Me, I just
That's
always
what-
have like I can just if I have these on, I feel comfortable. It's
Okay.
just, you're looking at less of me when I'm designing.
So now when you're comfortable, we need to talk about proposal on a plane. She was on her knees.
I was with this girl who was 5 years older than me. I was 19, she was 24. And we were off and on during the rave scene. It was fucking hectic, right? So we're breaking up. We got back together, break up together. And then by the time, like, finally we broke up and I was finally over her, I started dating a really nice girl. She was actually the fucking fashion director for Macy's or one of the Bloomingdale's or something. The buyer,
Okay.
which is that job that for the Prada job, basically they want to be the buyer.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like that. It's the ultimate.
Yeah.
They would work sales. They worked there for 10 years trying to get that buying position.
Buyer is a dream job, actually.
Exactly. So she was the buyer. She was
Wow.
bad to the bone. I was super happy, and we finally sealed the deal. And I go to LA for a job. I was doing styling, and I was staying with the makeup artist at his house. And we were all friends because he had migrated from San Francisco to LA. So I was in LA. So that girl I'm speaking of, my ex-girlfriend, calls the house, tells me that she knows that I'm the one. After being with the taller guy, the richer guy, the this guy, the that doesn't matter. They're not me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no, too late.
Oh, well.
Too late. And she said, and this girl is anti-kids, anti-marriage, like anti-establishment, like that kind of stuff. And she's like, well, I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm done. And she said, I'll marry you. I'm like, what'd you say? She's like, I'll marry you.
Wow.
Let's get married. And I said, hold on. He's like, no, honey, no. Big queen, you know. He's like, oh, honey, no. I'm like, okay. And I said, I'll fly home. So we met in San Francisco airport. We flew to Vegas and we got married.
And she was on her knees on a plane.
No, that's the second one.
Oh,
that's
okay,
the second one.
okay.
Yeah. So we got married at the Little White Chapel across from Circus in Las Vegas.
Okay.
We didn't get
this
wedding.
Oh, but it's not the real wedding, or
It's a real fucking wedding. We fucking had a divorce, and it was a real wedding. We had a wedding party when we got back with the parents. And
it's everything. A real wedding.
No, it's legit as fuck. And then when we got back, we had the big wedding party with the family and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. And then years later, I was with a Croatian girl for a few years, and then we're on a plane. We traveled a lot, and she sat in the middle and asked me to marry her. And I said no.
Oh.
But
was it a long flight?
No, I said no.
I mean, were you in like an intercontinental, like 15-hour flight, and she had to sit there?
Yeah, probably, but it was all good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we never argued. This one was amazing. It was the one that got away. But eventually, like one night we were asleep. I don't know why I'm fucking talking about this. Taking these off. The truth glasses.
I love it.
Anyways, I bounced out of bed. We were sleeping like, I don't know, 1 a.m. I jump up. I'm like, babe. So I'm like, what? I'm like, wake up. I'm like, you know what? I'll marry you. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, why not? You know, let's go. And so we went to Beverly Hills courthouse, got married with our best friends. Yeah.
Wow.
How long this marriage lasted?
Not long enough. I don't know. I'm a bad memory person.
Okay. I had a friend of mine here on this podcast, Edu. He does ecstatic dances. And
I love him.
Yeah,
he's the sweetest.
We had this deep conversation of like, I'm like, you, and he was wearing his
crystals and his gowns and his hats and his earrings and his long nails. Yeah, he's a vibe.
Wow, I don't know who you're talking about, but now I want to know.
We'll go on Sunday. He does ecstatic dance. I promised him we would go.
We had the conversation. I'm like, are you wearing this to attract females? And he's like, this is how my soul expresses. And we had
that's it.
Yeah.
I don't when you start thinking about like what you want, like, no, it's not working like that. Self-expression, it's a expression. It's not the
it's funny.
Wanting someone, you know? It's about wanting yourself.
Yes. I think it's about loving yourself. You're right.
Man, fucking not. You guys are too about it.
Okay.
I'm a stylist for 11 years by nature. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I would be dressing like huge casts of television shows and or grandmother or what's hot. Thank you. Or what's hot what season for the Vogue spread, you know, what's hot next season, what's on the runway, or if it was commercial, it was like a granddaughter. Okay, so I was always like thinking how you would perceive them if you saw them in an ad or a video.
Yeah.
Okay. And providing the outfits to create that reality in a sense, or character. So when I dress, I know if I'm going to a picnic or if I'm going to a dinner or if I'm going to get coffee or if I'm going to go to away for the weekend or depending where I'm going.
In Bali, it's easier. It's all the same.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. You don't need to wear jeans.
It's great because the checklist is like, dude, you don't need shoes for sure. That's definitely shoes, jeans, socks. That don't like. They're in 3 suitcases like deep in storage somewhere in the house because I don't need to go and wear denim. It's impossible. So I dress to how I feel at that moment. And sometimes I'll put on the same thing the next day and it absolutely does not work.
Yeah.
And it may necessarily be I mean, I may be going to the same exact place, doing the same exact thing with the same exact people. If I have the same clothes, I put them on the next day, they just don't feel right.
Mm.
So,
I see.
yeah.
So it's being connected with how
Totally
you
in
feel.
the moment.
Yeah, yeah,
Some shirts just
Yeah.
don't feel the same. So I try on until I'm like, there it is. In
It's like
focus.
waking up with who I am today. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I feel comfortable. This shirt's a little bit like not as
So then
drapey as the other one, blah, blah, blah.
my logical mind then tells me that a lot of people, because they dress the same way, it's also related to them not being able to connect with themselves and feel who they are. So because we are all focused on the Instagram and we're all focused on drinking after work and all this other bullshit people do, that's why we're so disconnected to ourselves that we cannot figure out who we are, and that's why we wear the same thing.
Well, you might look at me every day on every outfit. I may look like I'm wearing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Because I wear black on black on black all the time.
Yeah.
But to me, those are particularly black pieces that I chose with that morning.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit, I don't resonate so much with what you're saying.
Okay.
Because I'm wearing this different clothes every day, different outfit, even though it fucking looks the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you put the effort into it. You put the
I
thought
have to
into it.
feel like that click. Same with when I'm designing and I finish. It's like, there it is. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And
But here's the difference.
thing.
Okay. So you look very unique. Like I wouldn't find anybody in Bali that's looking like you, which is amazing. And I love that. Like you express yourself in this beautiful way. And I can see it, I can guess, and there is some mystery. And I look at your outfit, I'm like, wow, this is so cool. You look like a fashion designer, but if you take your glasses off and you wear, I don't know, jeans, you would be like, okay, this is some really cool dude. And like it's hard
dude.
it's cool.
Right on,
It's
bro.
cool, dude.
Yeah,
And it would be hard to say that you put that much thought into it, but you still did.
yeah.
So there's a difference here.
Yeah. Go ahead. I was gonna go into the Instagram thing.
It's just I think that's just like women, like it's the thing about the world, like women have much more opportunity to express themselves through the style. Actually, men's fashion is not that like advanced.
You guys fake it, man. You got fake boobs, fake chin, fake nose, fake eyebrows, fake
Mine all
eyelashes.
natural. Sorry.
I said you guys as in women.
Okay.
You, okay. Fake
Thanks.
boobs, makeup, hair color. We do nothing. Zero. We can't do anything.
Lucky you are.
Well, now that
Not
people have
necess-
like manicure and stuff, so men are Yeah.
Yeah, but no, bro.
Color nails.
They don't look. You wipe them off, and at the end of the day, they're a different person. You know.
That's actually interesting. I was thinking about that as well.
That they get to do this. It's a lot of work for them. Like I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that.
Can you not do like this? Because You've
You're the
seen
only
me without
girl.
makeup.
You're the only girl in the studio. So. Anyways, yeah, I trip on that, on how much fucking time they have to get ready. They paint on this whole facade on their face.
Yes. And a lot of it, like my thinking before was that they do it for men for men to look good. But no, they do it because
Other
this
women.
is how they feel that way.
Other women.
Or other women. But
yeah.
Interesting that men don't do it. Like it's just naturally men do not do makeup. But what stops men to do makeup? Like what's the difference? Is that because Mel wants to be more brutal?
We're more comfortable.
I think that's
a
just
good point.
completely different gender roles. Okay, it's like everyone knows, like men love with eyes, women love with their ears. So, like I mean that men's beauty is not about. Is not about like what is the shape of your eyes, what is the shape of your nose. It's about your charisma.
Yeah.
It's about your energy. It's about your strength. It's about how women, because actually we are not in love with the person. We are in love with the way we feel near someone. And women can fall in love obviously when they feel safe. Men fall in love because they see her, like, well, how we usually hear the stories.
Yeah.
man is like, I just saw her and my heart stopped.
Yeah.
And woman is like, he cared about me so much. I felt so safe with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely different. You know, it's just different, completely
I see what
different
you're
situations. And that's why, yes, I think actually, like most of the marketing, if you look at about any ad, most of the marketing is around sex in some way.
Yes.
In some way,
Yes.
it's always there. So yes, like now 90% like of the product of this marketing is all done like to women, because women will go, they will do it to attract someone more like powerful, more charisma, more money,
Yes.
and all this kind of stuff. And men just don't need those things because they need to do other things to attract women. So and then they buy cars or yachts or like, you know, just different kind of
Thirst
marketing.
traps.
All right. So what's next for you? This fashion show is coming up. The fashion line is coming up.
Yeah.
How do you guys get it launched, and what do you want to share?
So right now we're working on designs. Really, let her do her thing. You know, she's running around the sewers, doing things I just can't do. It kills me. Kills my soul.
And
So
I
she
just
loves
love
it.
it. When I go into the fabric store, my inspirational muscle is like,
Wow.
it explodes, and I just feel super happy. So I can spend just like an hour near the stand of silk, and
I'm
I
getting
already
pictures.
have
She's sending me
10.
pictures like fabric on her face.
So,
I'm like, yeah, okay. Anyway,
I can really like fly to Kashmir just to see the fabric, or like I'm this person just like.
So she's kind of working covertly, doesn't give me all the updates. Let her do her thing. I realized with her and someone that people that know how to work with me, so let me do my thing. So I've just taken that and applied it to her as a partner. So I trust her tremendously because she's genius, and I drop her ideas all the time. She's like, "Stop, dude. Wait, I'm already have too many that we can't do." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, all right, cool, I got it." So let's just keep rolling with what you got, and then it's the very. I mean, you've done how many sketches now?
Like already, I think 10. Yeah.
10. So I haven't seen them yet. So after this, we're gonna go and do a work session for hours and see what we got going on design wise. Nothing's there yet, like to cut or and process and sampling or anything like that. We're still totally formulating this thing.
And this will be like you're gonna cut those designs live, or you're gonna sell it as a?
It depends on maybe.
You want to
This
elevate
idea. This idea is interesting because we could document it. You know, we could document that this is how this piece was made.
Yeah,
and it'll be 5 of the same. So we're going to be 15 styles, 5 each.
Yeah,
we want to make it very limited. Actually,
it's only 75 pieces. It's just
amazing.
kind of a lot when you got 75 pieces. They're quite expensive, so we're not going to have a problem selling out. Yeah, that's the goal. Sell out. We don't want to sit on anything, and I just want to change it. Instead of doing everything unique, is I actually have a collection that's a produced collection, which is still partially handmade.
Yeah.
But well constructed. She made this bustier, and
it's corsets. Yeah.
Sorry, I keep doing that. It's a corset. It's made in France. She's this is top quality.
Wow, that's great.
Top. So this is one of like my main things, because like I have also like Adam Saaks has Adam Saaks, and I have a Tianalirr brand, and so mostly like it has like the corsets and like the gowns and like things like this.
Couture, very constructed.
Corsets are very cool.
Yeah, I'm in love with corsets. So
I don't. We have one design that we've drawn up.
Oh my!
Yeah, it's quite cool.
Yeah,
with
and
our
Adam,
new logo, it's all these little touches with our branding on it. It's so good.
Yeah, and Adam is a genius. Just okay, let me do, and then he puts it to some program and he starts, and I'm like, you genius! How you do this all the time? Like, well, I mean, like we elevate each other, and that's so cool, because I think the meaning of life is trying to become like better, trying to, go to the new level of what you can like bring to this
Like
world.
Metallica. I'm gonna always revert back to them.
You even call
because-
your cuts a Metallica riff.
Yeah, I do. They're kind of like that. Yeah, Metallica.
You're really
riffs.
well prepared.
Yeah, so like in the case of Metallica, they all suck individually
Yeah.
terribly, but together, no
Yeah.
other drummer can go and play for Metallica. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's a better drummer, but not for Metallica. They're like a unit. They all do their part, and they've been doing their type of writing for their best 4 albums. It was like the drummer and the guitarist, which was the singer. They would write them, basically do the riffs and the foundation, and then the lead guitarist would come in and lay the track over what they did in the rhythm section. So everyone had their part, and man, it's like this one unit when it's done.
Yeah.
And they don't cross wires.
Wow.
So in the same in this case, she's filling a void. I don't want to go. I've tried, I could draw this out and send it to somebody and then sit there and okay, make it a little bit longer. Okay, cool. And then cut it. But I just like, give me the piece and I'll cut it. I don't want to go do extra work. Keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
So she loves this, to do that stuff, which is like a dream of mine, to elevate a palette for me to cut on, some different type of challenge. And I think the people are going to love it. I know they are.
Beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
It's our mutual evolution.
Even my family's excited to have her with me. I've never even met her yet. Just I talk about her and showed her the designs we've done so far. Yeah, everybody's excited.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I look forward to see where you guys gonna get.
Thank
Sounds
you.
very exciting. You
Thank
get 2 geniuses together, and there's one beautiful things come.
Thank you.
Any parting thoughts? Anything you want to share before we go?
Ladies first.
I just want to say that life is a unique thing, and like I'm really very grateful for everything that is going on, because you never know what opportunities will come, how they open you up as a person. Like, I mean, as for like what happened to me a lot of times, when the right time, the right place, they did a lot. Like for Adam, who could never discover his genius in cutting if there was not like the right moment.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very important each time just to remember that all these like small details of our lives, it's all so much aligned, and we really need to trust the process.
Yeah.
And to try to hear ourselves, try to like hear the universe, what it tries to bring, what it tries to say. And
Amazing.
I'm super happy to be here together today, and just
can't wait to cut her.
Can't
I can't wait to cut this girl. Give me some pieces, man. Let's get going.
That's the only time we can't wait to cut her. Sounds all right.
Yeah. And for me, it's I've been doing getting like working on my body and my mind a lot these days, and it's getting into the gym. I have a new trainer and a new like other type of like therapy like a program I'm working, which is getting emotionally healthy to get myself like to wake up and be consistent, and it's a motivational situation,
Yeah.
And right when I right when I started this program with the self program, okay, it's not something that like it's like something I have to get up and do every day. And when I committed to it is when she called and said that she was like in Dubai, which was the first phone call just about a month ago. And I'm like, oh my God, are you coming? Because let's do this thing. And she said, yeah, I'll come. And not only did she came like a day or two early, surprised me. I mean, I was surprised, and it was like a surprise for me, but I was surprised. And so it was like, I aligned myself and kind of with what God's will is, my will with God's will. And then she's like the gift that came in to fulfill, like to continue. Like time is ready after, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, a lot of miles, a lot of years, a lot of experience. And to continue doing what I do for so long and stay interested in it and keep it exciting, this was a gift. And I think it was a gift because I've been gifting myself in this point in my life. And now it's like, God's like, here you go. Now we're ready.
Amazing.
So I'm very excited for the next half of my life.
Amazing.
And kill it with her. Let's go.
And I'm really proud of how Adam really works on himself, and well, I see that we are both very much now not into being creative, but into the sorts of discipline, and we feel the responsibility for each other, and we both pay like a lot of attention to build the connection, like to be like healthy in it,
Yeah.
So we both do a lot of like sports. We both work on our mental stability, on our mental health, and our physical health, and that's really inspiring.
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's
Take over the
go.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do round 2.
All right. Thank you guys. Really
Thank you
appreciate
so
your time.
much.
Thank
This is
you.
amazing. Bye, viewers.
And for everybody watching, please like and subscribe. And otherwise, maybe we'll cut you someday. Who knows? Please like, subscribe.
Wait, I have to do something. Which camera? Put me on this camera right here. Okay. There we go. Let me put my glasses on. Just get it ready. So this is the official ending to any kind of video that I do. Just kidding. I don't, but a lot of them. Ready? And cut.